couple months back, I made a video about Mel from Arcane. Within that video, I was utterly wrong about Mel. On the surface, Mel does seem a little malicious. Every decision she makes seems like it comes from a selfish place. She leads the council by bribing the others to go along with her plans. And when things get hard and actions need to be taken, Mel doesn't really do anything to calm tensions between Piltover and the Undercity. However, this isn't really her character at all. Mel isn't full of hatred or spite. Her character is full of a lot more compassion than I gave her credit for. When it comes to her motivations, Mel isn't after power or money. Laura says to Mel,
"You are the richest person in Piltover."
When it comes to power, she's already a big influence on the council in the first episode she appears. She just needs something to put Piltover on the map. With that being said, Mel sees the value in running a government through innovation. In order for Piltover to be taken seriously, it needs something that no other country has. At Jace's trial, she sees the potential in the use of magic. When she runs into Victor and Jace breaking into the lab, she sees Jace's drive to make his dream a reality, the same drive and passion she has for innovation. After the time skip, Hextech is what makes Piltover so powerful. With the use of magic, trade is a lot more accessible for Piltover and other foreign lands. Although we don't see that much of the people of Piltover, it seems like they are quite happy basking in their riches. This all changes on Progress Day, when Jace does not reveal his new inventions. Mel becomes frustrated by his actions storming out, because in her mind,
steady is stagnant.
If Hextech doesn't bring anything new to the table, Piltover will look vulnerable. And when Jace threatens to shut down the Hex Gates for safety reasons, the council is faced with a big moral question. Is income more important than safety? Piltover's global shipping status depends on the Hex Gates staying open. Most importantly, if the gates close, many people will lose their income. With this moral dilemma, Mel shines through, finding a solution to both sides' problems. Offering Jace a seat on the council helps ensure the safety of the people and helps Piltover stay profitable. However, this decision also gives Mel a new challenge. That challenge is mentoring Jace. Mel doesn't seem like the type of person to mentor just anyone. They have to impress her in some way. This is what Jace has already done with both creating Hextech and his willingness to give it up. Jace's good nature is what makes Mel want to teach him. She sees the potential leader that he can be. Both can work together to make the world a better place, away from death and destruction. After her night with Jace, she wakes up to see Jace is nowhere to be found, thinking that he was just like everyone else, taking things without giving anything back. Once she finds out the reason Jace left, because Victor, his best friend, is dying, Mel understands and is a little shocked by his confession, but still comforts him anyways. Just like with Mel, Jace feels like nothing is impossible when he's with her. At this moment, Mel stops hiding from Jace and tells him about her past exile. It's hard for Mel to talk about, but she finds comfort in what Jace has to say about it. Jace and Mel must go back to work, and within this short amount of time that the two are apart, something in Jace has changed. He's easier to anger, arguing with Heimerdinger, who just wants to find peace between the two cities, taking action before truly thinking anything through. Jace decides to part ways with Heimerdinger and force him off the council. This leaves Mel in an impossible situation. From the words Mel has previously spoken at council meetings, it seems like Mel agrees with Heimerdinger. However, she needs to stand by Jace for two reasons. Reason one is that if she disagrees, she may have a target on her back from the other counselors in the future. Reason two is if she disagrees, she'll lose all of Jace's trust, which in turn will make Jace more reactive and less likely to think about the people's safety. The odds are stacked against Mel, and for the good of all, she must begrudgingly agree. With Jace's outburst, he needs Mel's guidance now more than ever. As the safety and security of all of Piltover are being threatened, Mel has to be the patient guiding hand that helps Jace see the light, showing him that it's better to fight battles together rather than all by yourself. These are some of the reasons why she doesn't push Jace into talking with other lands overseas, not wanting him to break under all of his stress. Through Mel's story so far, we've seen that she's ambitious, challenging herself and others around her to be better. We've also seen that she's kind and caring towards people that she deems worthy. However, there is one last element to her character that helps us see what she's truly trying to teach the audience. If we take a look back at her flashback when she and her mother are at odds about what to do with the girl, Mel believes that it's best to spare her, stating,
We can show the people we are merciful.
with this statement, Mel's motivation, the reason for her to be in this show in the first place, is to teach us the importance of mercy. Every decision thus far has been for the good of people, finding a way for Piltover to get on the map by innovation rather than more bloody ways. Different than how we see her mother or Silco handle things, putting Jace on the council because he'll do whatever it takes for the good of the people's safety, mentoring Jace in diplomatic solutions to help keep income flowing in Piltover. All of this is just to show that she can run a country without shedding blood. In an ideal world, Mel's way of thinking would work. Piltover can thrive with its technology showing strength through innovation. The show isn't as clear-cut. With the tensions of an uprising in the Undercity, Mel must think of what's best for her people. I want to point out that Mel only cares about the people of Piltover at this point. The Undercity isn't on her radar because she doesn't know what's going on down there. She sees the angry people of the Undercity as a threat to Piltover's safety, wanting to make weapons as a security measure. Weaponizing hex tech may have been Mel's idea, but she never wanted them to be put in use. Seeing the aftermath on the bridge angered Mel. She sees innocent lives being killed for some feud. With that anger, there is a determination to find a diplomatic solution away from more violence. To make a clear decision, she must first get more information. This is where Caitlin and Vi come in. Caitlin is a person from the Piltover who has seen the problems that plague the Undercity, helping shed some light onto what is happening down there. Both Caitlin and Mel believe that there can be a peaceful way to take down Silco. However, Vi and Jace feel like it's better to go in by force. Seeing the anger taking root in Jace, Mel talks him down by saying that they can find a diplomatic solution. The other counselors agree with Mel because the safety of Piltover is at stake here. As the war with the Undercity is starting to take root, Mel's mother decides to come into town because she thinks Mel needs guidance, hearing how Mel made the order to make weapons, knowing full well that they will be used.
Weapons can't be unmade, and they are always used.
And in Mel's eyes, she sees her mother more as a nuisance. Mel is in control here. She knows what she's doing. However, people like her mother are just not listening. When she's not looking, her mother tries to take the one thing Mel finds hope in, Jace, telling him it's better to take action against the Undercity directly. Mel blames her mother for coaxing Jace into a violent decision, putting hex tech weapons into use, which is what her mother wanted all along. The only thing in the world that Mel's mom cares about is her family, and she will set the world on fire just to protect it, putting Mel in another difficult situation. Does she give her mother the hex tech weapon and return home, or does she keep building Piltover in her vision? In the end, Mel makes her choice, taking off her family's ring, choosing to build a new future with Jace and Piltover. Mel is a lot different than I initially thought. She's kind and caring, and depending on the events of season 2, she could still be that voice of reason for the show, or she could look to more violent options. Mel's an interesting character, and I really did peg her wrong. If it weren't for the people that commented on the last Mel video, I wouldn't have looked more closely into her character arc. So thank you so much for your comments. Before I go, I just want to say this channel just hit 500 subscribers, which blows my mind. Really appreciate all the support and the kind words for this channel. I'm gonna keep working hard to make the best content I can. And with that, let me know if you have any other themes or characters you'd like me to talk about from Arcane. If you like this video, you may like my other take on Mel, or you can binge watch the whole playlist here. Hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time.